Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's show. It is a Saturday afternoon, September 20th. Folks, today we have some really frankly concerning news to talk about. Tomorrow is Charlie Kirk's massive memorial service at which over 100,000 people are expected to attend, including some really frankly massive names that we all have heard of. Famous people, celebrities, but also senior ranking members of the United States government. And so right now, there are some pretty serious and legitimate security concerns. So many people, so many senior ranking members of the government, famous people, celebrities, whatever, are going to be attending in this arena at Charlie Kirk's memorial. And so right now, the Secret Service is kind of going into overdrive. And as it would seem, justifiably so, you've got to make sure this entire situation is completely and totally on lock. But also, as it would seem, there has already been at least one security concern, security mix-up. Maybe charges have already been filed against one person. We got to dive into this today. But things are already kind of getting a little bit weird with this memorial regarding the safety and security concerns of this venue. So today, we're going to dive right into this. We have a lot to talk about. Of course, tomorrow I will be here live all day with you guys, covering the memorial as it happens live. So make sure to come back. But right now, we are live right now on Rumble, Matt Morris TV. We are live on YouTube, Matt Morris TV. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like today's broadcast. Let's get right into this, folks. The first thing I want to talk about here is this. An armed man impersonating a police officer was arrested in an attempt to enter the Charlie Kirk Memorial site. This was a couple hours ago. And I think there's more information to this story as well that is now developing. But first off, take a look at this.
We learn an armed man is now in custody after entering the memorial site posing as a law enforcement officer.
Matt Finn joins us now outside the State Farm Stadium where the service is being held. Good morning, Matt.
Hi, Rachel. It is a calm, beautiful morning here on the ground right now. And of course, it'll be a much different scene at this hour tomorrow, where we expect thousands of people across the country, maybe
over 100,000. That's the number I'm hearing all over the place. Over 100,000.
Even the world to arrive here at State Farm Stadium. They're going to be greeted by intense federal and local security, obviously sweeping for not just the president, but a long list of VIPs. But ahead of tomorrow morning's memorial for Charlie Kirk, the Secret Service says a suspicious man with a gun and a knife was taken into custody yesterday after he was found inside State Farm Stadium, according to the Washington Post. Secret Service says the unidentified man was exhibiting suspicious behavior inside the stadium. Now, the report says the man claimed to be law enforcement but showed fake credentials. The Secret Service writing in a
claimed to be law enforcement, but he showed fake credentials. Okay.
Statement, the individual is not a member of authorized law enforcement working the event and is currently in custody. The U.S. Secret Service and local law enforcement are investigating the circumstances as to why he was at the location. Tomorrow's memorial for Charlie Kirk here in Glendale, Arizona at State Farm, home to the Arizona Cardinals, has been designated a Tier 1 level event equivalent to a Super Bowl. DHS saying that designation is reserved for events of the highest.
Honestly, it's even this event, the Charlie Kirk Memorial tomorrow, is even more important and consequential than the Super Bowl. And I'll tell you why. Some of you might say there's no way this is bigger than the Super Bowl. Well, it's because of the people that are attending this event. I want to do a little quick rundown here. Who all is showing up to this event tomorrow? Why is this such a big deal? Why are we on such a heightened level of security as we head into this event tomorrow? Donald Trump, President of the United States, will be attending. J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States, will be attending. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, will be attending. Now, by the way, I want a little bit of a recap. God forbid, seriously, that anything like this happens. But let's quickly run down the presidential line of succession. If the president passes away, the vice president becomes the new president. Everybody knows that. If both the president and the vice president pass away, God forbid, then the Speaker of the House becomes the president. So president, vice president, Speaker of the House are the top three. Top three most important people in the country, kind of. because that's your presidential line of succession. 3 people right there. So all of these individuals are going to be in the same place at the same time tomorrow. This is a big deal. We do need to lock this down. This has to be maximum security. Like I said, this is bigger than the Super Bowl. It's much more consequential than the Super Bowl. Also, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, will be there tomorrow. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary of Health and Human Services, will be there tomorrow. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, formerly known as Defense, will be there tomorrow. Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, will be there tomorrow. Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, will be there tomorrow. Susie Wiles, the White House Chief of Staff, will be there tomorrow. Tucker Carlson is going to be there tomorrow, in addition to God knows how many dozens of other famous conservative commentators, podcasters, whatever. I'm going to be at home with you guys watching the thing, but a lot of people are going to be there. Elon Musk is going to be there. And that's another, he has his own high, senior level security protocol because he's the richest guy in the world, or maybe now, I think technically he's the second richest guy. I saw somebody else, a headline a couple days ago, somebody passed him by a couple $2 billion, whatever. He's one of the richest guys in the world. And so he is going to be attending tomorrow. So yeah, when we say that this event tomorrow is bigger than the Super Bowl, it's more important than the Super Bowl, it's more consequential than the Super Bowl, it is a higher security situation than the Super Bowl. The reason why is because of the people that are going, the importance of the people that are going. And of course, Erica Kirk, and I doubt they're going to have, I don't know, but maybe their children will be there. So listen, a bunch of very important people are going to be there tomorrow. So this is a very big deal. Now, as it would seem, the individual that was, arrested inside of this memorial site at the State Farm Stadium is a man named Joshua Runkles, was identified as the man arrested inside Charlie Kirk's memorial site at State Farm Stadium with a knife and a firearm. And now he faces a felony charge for impersonating a law enforcement officer and carrying a weapon into a prohibited place. So this is him, allegedly. They got him. And I guess he was acting suspiciously inside of this stadium. This guy was up to no good, he says. As we speak, they're putting fencing up all around the stadium to lock this place down. Secret Service is all over this place. What's his name? Joshua Runkle. Now, Fox News, I saw as I was going live today, 37 minutes ago, Fox News had another breaking news report about this very story. Maybe some emerging details. Take a look at this.
The Secret Service has now arrested an armed man posing as law enforcement at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, where Charlie Kirk's memorial service will be held tomorrow. Now, he was reportedly armed with a knife and a gun and told Secret Service he was there to provide private security. While officials continue their investigation, everyone is now on edge. Before this arrest, law enforcement reportedly posted a bulletin warning of violent extremists targeting the service. President Trump, Vice President Vance, and other administration officials will be in attendance and deliver remarks. Officials estimate more than 100,000 people may attend. Joining us now live from the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, is Bill Malugin. Bill, what are you seeing on the ground?
Tommy, a lot of roadblocks and a lot of security. There are fences going up all around the stadium as we speak right now. It is really tough to get in here, and that is only going to ramp up come this time tomorrow. But you were just talking about that guy who got arrested for showing up here, pretending to be law enforcement while armed with a gun and a knife. We have an update about him. Arizona DPS confirming they're now charging him with a felony. His name is Joshua Runkles. They say he is not law enforcement, not a...
This is 37 minutes ago. They are charging him with a felony.
Affiliated with law enforcement, but he's now being charged with felony impersonation of law enforcement, as well as misdemeanor carrying a weapon in a prohibited place. They say they're now trying to figure out what he was doing here, what his intent was. They're looking into his background to figure out if there was something sinister going on here. That investigation still playing out. He has since been released on bond, and we're working on getting his mugshot. More on that as we get it. In the meantime, expecting massive crowds out here in Glendale, Arizona.
Now, I got to say, we're going to finish this little clip here, but I have to say, We caught one guy. They apprehended one guy. How many people are slipping through the cracks? This is a big event. 100,000 people showing up. Literally the biggest names in the country. The most important people in the country are showing up at this thing tomorrow. One person has been caught so far. Okay, good. Felony charge, whatever. All right. How many people have not been caught? How many people are looking to do something sinister and terrible and evil, like some of the stuff that we've seen these far left freaks posting about all over social media over the last 10 days? Charlie Kirk was assassinated 10 days ago, and you've seen a lot of these far left radicals. They want violence. They want more. They want bloodshed. They are championing political violence. Here's my concern. How many more people like this are out there lurking, ready to go? That's what I'm scared of, okay? Although, you know, you got to trust the Secret Service, I guess. They're doing their due diligence here, I hope. Not like Butler, Pennsylvania. Remember Butler, Pennsylvania? Secret Service, big mistake. They let that guy get up on the roof. He took a shot at President Trump, okay? Let's hope we don't have a lapse in judgment or some massive oversight like we saw at Butler about a year and a half ago. Let's keep on playing this.
Tomorrow, as this memorial service, Glendale PD says, could have upwards of 100,000 people showing up. Guys, the stadium behind us where the Arizona Cardinals play only seats about 60,000 people, so we could potentially have tens of thousands of people in the overflow, and we're told that overflow is going to go to the nearby NHL arena where the Arizona Coyotes play. Obviously, some huge names in Republican politics showing up here to speak on Kirk's behalf tomorrow. Yep. Take a look at this list. It includes President Trump, Vice President Vance, Erica Kirk, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and then several of President Trump's cabinet secretaries, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, HHS Secretary RFK Jr., Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, DNI Tulsi Gabbard, and the list goes on. When it comes to security concerns, local police and State Farm say they're prepared, they're ready, and they're working on anything that could come their way. Take a listen.
We're expecting people from all over the country, including possibly the world, arriving to this event.
We have all the best of the best working it, and we're ready for Sunday.
I hope so.
And again, regarding that suspect who was arrested earlier, he is facing that felony charge and a misdemeanor charge. But again, he has been released from custody. We're going to continue working with local law enforcement out here, trying to get more details as they release more information about what the possible motive was here. But a little bit of a security scare here already, guys. And the program is still, 24 hours away from starting.
Now, folks, call me a little bit paranoid. Call me a little bit of a worry wart here. And you guys know me, no disrespect to the event or to Charlie Kirk or to Charlie Kirk's family. When I say this, I don't think President Trump and JD Vance should both attend this thing in person at the same time. You send one of them, maybe send JD Vance, keep President Trump at the White House, have him call in, put him up on the big screen. I don't know. Either way, I would not have both of these guys, the president and the vice president, at an event like this. And you know what? Probably nothing is going to happen. We're all praying nothing happens. I think nothing will happen. I trust Secret Service. I trust, they're going to get this thing set up. But still, that said, I think we're talking about the leaders of the free world, and I feel like probably both of them should not be there. Now, take a look at this. Authorities are dealing with threats around Charlie Kirk's memorial on Sunday. This is a Breitbart article doing a little bit of an overview here. You guys agree? Okay, all right. The apprehension of an armed man at the stadium site of Charlie Kirk's memorial, as well as reported threats, we haven't even seen those ones, against key speakers scheduled at the high-profile event Sunday is sparking fresh fears of political violence. Although I'm sure there's been threats. I'm sure we've seen a lot of them over on social media over the last 10 days. The individual detained was carrying a gun and a knife when he was detained at State Farm Stadium in Glendale on Friday and falsely claimed to be a member of law enforcement, numerous outlets have reported. A memo obtained by ABC News revealed that authorities are, quote, tracking several threats of unknown credibility. Some could be more credible, others could be less credible. That said, there are several of them of various degrees of credibility against various people that are expected to be at the event. specifically President Donald J. Trump, Vice President Vance, and members of the Kirk family. According to the memo issued to the top federal law enforcement agencies, violent extremists and unaffiliated lone offenders may view the memorial service or related events as attractive attack targets due to the attendance of these individuals. Other senior U.S. government officials, state and local government officials, and political activists, and due to major international media attention. Yeah. I mean, hey, if you are a far-left radical psychopath, if you're a nut job like some of these people, what is this event? A target? That's how your twisted brain sees it. Oh, that's a big target? Because these people are nuts. And we've seen a lot of nuts people over the last 10 days. Local law. Okay, so we saw that. Authorities have not released the identity of the man they say was armed. Well, we saw him. Now we do. Now we have that. Joshua Runkles is his name. The individual was approached by Secret Service and stated during the encounter that he was a member of law enforcement and that he was armed. Guglielmi said, the individual is not a member of authorized law enforcement working the event and is currently in custody. You know, I got to say, let's say this guy was a part of Elon Musk's private security team, and he was there 2 days in advance to scope out the scene as a member of Elon Musk's security team or whatever. So the point is, let's say this guy is not a bad guy. He's not a bad actor. He's not looking to kill anybody. He is a genuine bodyguard or whatever. Still, dude, it's pretty freaking stupid of you to show up here armed in advance without telling anybody that you were going to be there. If you are a security professional guy, and I don't know, I guess we're going to find out maybe later today or tomorrow, but man, you got to let somebody know if you're going there. You can't just show up with a gun and start walking around, especially at an event like this. Sunday's memorial, called Building a Legacy Remembering Charlie Kirk, is being held at the stadium used by the Arizona Cardinals. It is expected to draw some 100,000 people. In addition to President Trump, Vice President Vance, Erica Kirk, the list of speakers for the event listed on the memorial's website include White House Chief of Staff. So we already read through this big list of names. A lot of very important people. Literally the most important people in the country. The Department of Homeland Security has designated the memorial with a special event assessment rating level 1 or SEER 1, the kind that is reserved for events like the Super Bowl. And this, like we said, this is bigger. This is more important than the Super Bowl. This designation is reserved for events of the highest national significance and enables the federal government to provide the full range of law enforcement and security resources necessary to support local officials in ensuring a safe and successful event, said the DHS. Security measures will include, this is important, the security measures will include uniformed and plainclothes officers, drones, and 300 cameras for surveillance. Only 300? As well as counterterrorism sniper teams, also reported by CBS. The only difference here is when you have something like the Super Bowl, we had upwards of 2 years to plan an event like that, a Glendale Police Department spokesperson said. Now they just have like a week to plan all of this. The event is scheduled for 11 a.m. local time. This is 11 a.m. Mountain time, I believe. That's Arizona. With doors opening at 8 a.m. The event's website suggests a dress code of Sunday best, red, white, or blue themed. Makes sense. I mean, hey, tomorrow's Sunday. And advises that a no-bag security policy will be in effect. Yeah, no bags. Yeah, because who knows what people are sneaking in there. Even clear bags are not permitted. Please be advised that enhanced security measures are in place, which may result in longer wait times than usual. Okay, want to take a look at some super chats here over on YouTube. I see 2 of them right here, right now. This is from Tortuga Breen. He says, I know this is a little off topic, H-1B. Yeah, it is off topic, and we're not going to talk about that right now. Thank you very much for that, though. And that's the same one there. If Trump or others are unalive, we have to declare war, but who do we declare war on? well, first off, God forbid anything bad happens. I think nothing will happen. It seems like they are taking this situation very seriously, thank God, as they should. This is a very big deal. But if something terrible does happen, you got to declare war on some. I think it entirely depends on who did it. You got to figure out who did it. Was it a lone actor or something else? I think it depends on who did it. Now, there's another Fox News report coming out of the woodwork here I want to play with you folks. Thank you very much once again for tuning in on this lovely Saturday afternoon. Right now, we are live on Rumble Matt Morris TV, YouTube Matt Morris TV. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check this one out. This is detailing the degree to which they are bracing for maybe some counter protests as a result of this event that's happening tomorrow.
Mourners continue to visit Turning Point USA headquarters in Phoenix to honor Charlie Kirk as the nation prepares to say goodbye tomorrow. Supporters are leaving heartfelt messages and remembering the impact that Kirk had on young people across the country.
Yeah.
Jeff Paul is in Phoenix with more for us now.
There's a lot of people
Jeff.
out there.
Well, yeah, John, it has been more than 10 days since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and this memorial here in Phoenix outside the Turning Point USA headquarters just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Crowds are really starting to show up here, and we expect it to only get busier as we get closer and closer to that planned public memorial at nearby State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Now, a lot of the folks we've talked to are locals. They're from Arizona, but there's still a big portion of folks who are coming in from all over the country, from coast to coast, and in some cases around the world. They tell us that if they can't get in tomorrow, they're going to just watch the stream, and they feel that it's a fitting honor that both President Trump and Vice President Vance will be speaking. However, we do know that authorities are preparing for some protests and possible disruptions. We spoke with Turning Point USA's Andrew Colvett, who says Charlie wasn't about violence. He wanted a revival, not a revolution. Colvett has this message for those who might show up tomorrow to cause trouble.
Don't be a fool. And also, you're going to be outnumbered. And nobody wants anything bad or negative to happen. We want this to be a celebration of Charlie's life. Respect our friend, respect what he meant to us. And if you want to protest, that's fine. That's your right. But do it in the appropriate time and place. And
here's my deal. I agree. Of course, I agree with him. We all agree with him. Respect. This is about respecting his life and celebrating his life. Very clearly, however, there are a lot of people in this country that do not respect his life. They have spent the last 10 days celebrating his death. You want to talk about celebrating life? These people on the radical far left, they have been cheering and celebrating the fact that he was assassinated in cold blood. So, yes, we agree. We do want peace. This is a celebration of life. That's what this should be. It's a memorial service here. The problem is there are a lot of people that do not share those values that we have. They do not reciprocate that sentiment. They do want blood. They are bloodthirsty. There's a lot of insane people in this country, and that's why this event is so concerning. That's why they're locking this thing down.
you know, that is your free speech, but it doesn't mean you need to be a jerk.
Now, Andrew Colvett also telling us that for the folks who want to go to the public memorial tomorrow at State Farm Stadium, to get there early, it's going to be a pretty hectic situation with so many crowds coming in and so many VIPs like President Trump speaking. But he says that if somehow you can't get inside the stadium, they're going to have an overflow at nearby Desert Diamond Arena just across the street. John?
That is going.
They are expecting so many people that they have an overflow here. Now, folks, real quick, just kind of side note, it popped in my head here. Speaking of Charlie Kirk memorial type of events, there was a local ice cream shop in my town I live in. They were doing a Charlie Kirk ice cream memorial celebration. I said, okay, we got to take the family down there. I'm here with my two kids. My wife, beautiful wife, took the photo here. They had Charlie Kirk ice cream, some Charlie Kirk stickers they were passing out. This was a very beautiful thing. I took my family down there 2 days ago to get some Charlie Kirk sort of memorial. So it was a lot of people coming together in town talking about Charlie Kirk, remembering him, and having some ice cream on a hot summer day. So this was a nice thing to do. You see a lot of people are showing up to this memorial event outside, this little vigil outside of the TPUSA headquarters. Look at this. This is just an overpouring, an outpouring of love, really is what it is. It's love. And so it's good. It's a great thing. Now, I wanted to show you guys some of the video footage of just exactly what they are doing outside of this stadium in preparation for this event tomorrow. Take a look at this. They've got all these workers out there right now, right this very moment, setting up just hundreds of yards of metal barricade, fencing, securing this thing. And thank God and there's the stadium right there in the background. Thank God this is what they need to do. It's what they should do. They're getting it locked down. Maximum security. You got your checkpoints, got your fences. They are building the wall, so to speak. I think Charlie would have liked that. They're building the wall here. Good for them. So that's good. That's exactly what needs to happen. Now, an Arizona state prosecutor has issued a warning ahead of the Charlie Kirk memorial tomorrow. The Maricopa County attorney has warned of consequences for illegal activity at the event. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell warned that no illegal activity at Sunday's memorial of Charlie Kirk will be tolerated. Zero. Mitchell's comments come as an estimated 100,000 attendees are expected at the service, which will feature speakers including President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance. The federal government has deemed it a level 1 special event, the same as the Super Bowl. This moment calls for Maricopa County to step up and show the nation and the world that we value dignity, civility, and the rule of law. I wish everybody in this country valued dignity and civility and the rule of law. If everybody in this country did, Charlie Kirk would still be alive, and we would not need to have this memorial because he would still be with us. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We can be role models that even in times of grief and disagreement, our community is united in its commitment to free speech without violence or lawlessness. There's a picture there. They're putting up big pictures of Charlie Kirk on the side of this building here. Looking good. Good for him. Good for them. And let me be clear, my office will defend the rights of those who come to mourn or protest peacefully. Anyone who chooses to break the law through violence, destruction of property, or obstruction will be held accountable. Let us honor Charlie Kirk's memory and the blessings of liberty, not with division or disruption, but with peace and respect for others. It's a noble message. The Secret Service said today, that an armed man with a knife and a firearm managed to get inside of the stadium. He was taken into custody and faces charges of impersonating an officer, a felony, and carrying a weapon where one was not permitted. Now, I'm just going to put on my conspiratorial brain here for a minute. I'm sorry, I'm just going off on a tangent. Is it possible that this guy snuck in here 2 days in advance because they got him yesterday? They announced it today, but they got him yesterday, and the event is tomorrow. So he snuck in there 2 days in advance with a gun and a knife. Maybe he was going to try to hide somewhere in the stadium for 2 days. He was going to hide behind the seats or underneath the stage or something for 2 days. Because, you know, on Saturday, they're setting up all the barricades. They're really locking this thing down today. So is it possible that he tried to sneak in there yesterday before the security ramped up? He was going to stay in there hiding for 2 days. And then he was going to pop out and do something terrible. I don't know. It's conceivable. Thank God they caught him. Let's keep on going here. So they're going to be charging this guy. The individual was approached by Secret Service and stated during the encounter that he was a member of law enforcement and that he was armed. The statement read, Fox News reported Saturday morning, quote, the individual was actually not a member of authorized law enforcement working the event and is currently in custody. The U.S. Secret Service and local law enforcement are investigating the circumstances, and now he's got a felony charging him with a felony. This is him right here. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, dude, I got to tell you what, this is just my personal experience. Every single law enforcement officer I've ever met in my life is a little bit more clean cut than this. I don't know many law enforcement officers that are doing the whole long hair thing. He's looking a little bit hippy dippy here. I think officers are generally a little bit more trimmed up than that, but okay, I don't know. The attendance, the high attendance at this event will likely lead to an overflow crowd at Desert Diamond Arena, another large event venue in the same area that regularly hosts concerts as well as rallies for Trump and former Vice President Kamala Harris. Yeah, I bet they had some pretty big Kamala Harris rallies there. So, necessarily this second overflow arena, Desert Diamond Arena, is likewise going to have to be locked down. You got to make sure everybody is safe out here. The Glendale Police Department issued a traffic alert on Friday ahead of the event, stressing that they are committed to ensuring a secure environment. They're perched up. They're just getting going. Plan ahead for parking and allow extra time. Is anybody here in the live chat today going to this tomorrow? If you're going, you got to let me know how it is. I'm not going to go. I'm up here in Idaho right now. But anyway, so the local PD, the Secret Service here, they are locking this thing down. This is a Category 1 event. Now, folks, something else very strange, just very abnormal, very ominous happened a couple of hours ago that I want to share with you guys. Take a look at this. This is the Governor Gavin Newsom press office. This is an official government Twitter page. This gray check mark means official government page is what that means. This is the Governor Newsom page. They posted out, Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day today. You're welcome, America. Excuse me? 10 days after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, we've had 10 days of far-left radicals talking about violence and more political assassinations. Tomorrow is Charlie Kirk's memorial. That situation is on complete and total lockdown. God forbid anything happens tomorrow. And you think it is fitting Governor Newsom press office to say this? A little bit ominous. Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day today. You're welcome, America. This is like some of those posts that we saw on social media before Charlie Kirk got assassinated. That was saying, hey, everybody at the Utah University, something crazy is going to happen to Charlie Kirk. Remember, we went over a bunch of those posts that we saw. Ominous, evil, mysterious. What are they talking about? And now the Governor Gavin Newsom press office thinks now is the time to officially be posting this. Okay. And now check this out. We have a follow-up here. Is that a threat? I kind of think it is. It's a little bit suspicious. Breaking news. Gavin Newsom's press office has now been referred to the Secret Service for full threat assessment after they made the statement. Kristi Noem's going to have a bad day. You're welcome, America. So now the Secret Service has been tipped off, and the Secret Service, thank God, is investigating this situation. Governor Gavin Newsom, what the hell are you up to, buddy? Secret Service said, no, this is actually U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley, U.S. Attorney. He said, we have zero tolerance for direct or implicit threats against government officials. I've referred this matter to Secret Service and requested a full threat assessment. So, you know what? Let's try to be as generous and understanding to Governor Gavin Newsom's press office here as we possibly can. Let's say they weren't trying to incite violence or that this was not a threat. Okay, then what did they mean? What? What is the proper non-sinister way to interpret this? How did they imagine me or us interpreting this? What is the non-sinister, non-threatening way to interpret this? Were they going to do something else to Kristi Noem? I don't know. As far as I know, nothing has happened to Kristi Noem today. They didn't do anything. So yeah, I think it is a little bit sinister. But anyway, folks, the point is this. This event coming up tomorrow, we are going to be watching it live. Already, we have some pretty serious, potentially major security concerns. We're going to have over 100,000 people tuning into this, or not tuning in, attending this event in person is what's going to be happening. I'm looking for my image. There it is. And we're going to have some of this, most senior ranking members of the U.S. government showing up to this thing tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm worried. I am concerned. So we're going to be covering this tomorrow. We're going to watch all of this. We're going to hope nothing bad happens. Erica Kirk is going to be there. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Mike Johnson, Marco Rubio, John F. Kennedy Jr., Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Stephen Miller, Susie Wiles, Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk. Dozens of other very important, famous, influential people are going to be there tomorrow. We're going to hope that they can lock this thing down. Folks, I am going to be live with you guys all day tomorrow watching this entire event. But now it is going to be a wrap up for today's show. However, I do have a very special announcement. We are going to continue today's broadcast over on Rumble, and we are going to cover a story that has been going on down in Paris, in France. Antifa, as far as I understand it, has completely taken over Paris. And so we are going to watch some deep dive investigative journalism. We're going to go over this Paris Antifa war zone hellhole that has been unfolding. So we're hopping over to Rumble now. Matt Morris TV on Rumble. Matt Morris TV on Rumble. But this is going to be a wrap for the YouTube show. Everybody, thank you very much for tuning in today. If you're dipping out, I will see you tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. Now we're heading over to Rumble, Matt Morris TV. Thank you. Everybody on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Have a great afternoon. And, actually, we do have one super chat real quick I want to take a look at. Joseph Patronella, sadly, I wouldn't put it past the insane left to unalive some of its own paid counter-protesters. We are hoping nothing crazy happens. I'm with you. We're hoping nothing crazy happens. Folks, I'm going to see you on Rumble, Matt Morris TV. Thank you very much for that. Everybody have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. All right, everybody on Rumble. Who